Connect Plus Primary 3, Term 1.
Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Connect Plus.
Exercise 1. Look, listen, and read.
Siwa Oasis is a very interesting place in the desert. People have lived here for thousands of years. The desert is hot and dry, but in an oasis there is water. People can grow trees and plants and look after animals. I've visited Siwa Oasis with my family. We ate lots of fruit. We saw some monuments and we swam in the spring.
Exercise 2. How is an oasis formed? Listen and number.
Rain falls to the ground. The rain soaks into the earth. The rain makes rivers and lakes under the ground. Water comes up to the surface of the ground in a spring. An oasis is a place where there is a big spring or lots of springs. Soak, rivers and lakes under the ground. Rivers and lakes under the ground. Spring. An oasis. An oasis. An oasis. Surface. Surface. Surface.
Exercise 3. Look and write.
1. Soak.
Soak.
2. River under the ground.
River under the ground.
3. Oasis.
Oasis.
4. Surface. 5. Spring.
Spring.
Exercise 4. What do you know? Ask and answer. Why is an oasis special?
We can grow plants.
Yes, that's true. What else?
An oasis is in the middle of the desert. It has fresh water. You can grow plants and trees. There are springs in which people can swim.
Exercise 1. Read and complete.
Siwa Oasis is in the desert. People have lived there for thousands of years. The desert is hot and dry, but there is water in an oasis. People can grow trees and plants. They can look after animals.
Exercise 2. Read the text on page 64 of your student's book and circle true or false.
What did Honey do at Siwa Oasis? Can you remember? 1. He ate a lot of fruit.
True.
He sat under a date palm tree.
False.
3. He saw some monuments.
True.
4. He took some photos.
False.
5. He swam in the spring.
True. Exercise 3. Look at the student's book and check your answers.
Siwa Oasis is a very interesting place in the desert. People have lived here for thousands of years. The desert is hot and dry, But in an oasis, there is water. People can grow trees and plants and look after animals. I've visited Siwa Oasis with my family. We ate lots of fruit. We saw some monuments and we swam in the spring.
Date palm trees. Date palm trees. Date palm trees. Olive trees. Olive trees. Olive trees.
Acacia.
Acacia trees. Acacia trees. Acacia trees. Tamarisk trees. Tamarisk trees. Tamarisk trees. Spearmint. 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 Basil. Basil. Basil.
Shelter. Shelter. Shelter.
Student's Book, Unit 5, page 66, Exercise 1. Listen and read.
There are many different plants and trees at an oasis. They make the oasis a special place. The desert is hot, and the trees and plants give people food, medicine, and shade. Farmers grow tall date palm trees. They can sell dates in Egypt and all over the world. We can cook with dates or eat them whole. People also use the leaves of date palm trees to make baskets. Olive trees grow here as well. People eat olives, cook with olives, and make olive oil. Olives are very good for you. The wood from the olive tree is hard, and we can make useful things from it, such as bowls and spoons. Acacia trees are old and very special. They provide shelter for people and animals. They protect the oasis from sandstorms. Tamarisk trees also protect the oasis from sandstorms. They are smaller than acacia trees, and they have pretty pink flowers. People can grow spearmint in an oasis. This is a herb. It can be a medicine, or you can put it in food or drink. Basil is another herb. It is very good for you. It has lots of vitamins and minerals in it, and you can make medicine from its oil. It's delicious in food, too.
Exercise 2. Read again and match.
1. Olive tree.
C. You can get hardwood from this tree.
2. Acacia tree.
F. This special tree gives lots of shade.
3. Date palm tree.
D. You can make baskets with the leaves of this tree.
4. Spearmint.
A. This herb in food or drink.
5. Tamarisk.
B. These small trees protect the oasis from sandstorms.
6. Basil.
E. This herb has vitamins and minerals in it.
Exercise 3. Right.
At an oasis, there are lots of springs of fresh water. Trees and plants can grow, and we can use these in different ways. We can grow food to eat. We can take shelter from the sun in their shade. We can make medicine. We can make baskets from the leaves of trees and plants. The trees also give us protection from storms in the desert. An oasis is a very special place.
Exercise 3. Right.
1. Tamarisk.
Tamarisk.
2. Date palm.
Date palm.
3.
Spearmint.
4. Acacia.
Acacia.
5. Basil.
Basil.
6. Olive.
Olive. Exercise 2. Match the numbers from exercise 1.
A. You can cook with oil from the fruit of this tree. 6. B. These trees provide shelter for people and animals. 4. C. People can make medicine oils of these plants. 5. D. You can use the leaves of this tree to make baskets. 2. E. These trees have pretty pink flowers. 1.
Exercise 3. Read and match.
1. There are freshwater springs. B. At an oasis. 2. We can sit in the shade. D. Of a tree when it is hot. 3. We can make medicine. A. From plants and herbs. 4. Trees give us shelter. C. From sandstorms.
Exercise 1. Listen, read, and say.
I have visited an oasis with my family 3 times. I have visited an oasis with my family 3 times.
He has climbed a mountain. He has climbed a mountain.
Have you ever seen a spring?
Yes, I have.
Have you ever seen a spring?
Yes, I have.
I've never eaten olives. I've never eaten olives.
Exercise 2. Read and circle.
1. I have never eaten dates. 2. He has taken photos of the oasis. 3. You have walked in the desert. 4. They have visited Cairo. 5. We've never seen a snake. 6. She hasn't tried swimming in a lake.
Exercise 3. Read and complete using has or have.
1. She has climbed a tree. 2. I have never tried coffee. 3. We have seen a big lake. Have you visited Siwa? Yes, I have. 5. Have they made olive oil? No, they haven't.
Exercise 4. What have you done? Ask and answer. Have you ever visited Siwa?
No, I haven't. Have you ever eaten dates? Have you ever seen a spring?
Exercise 1. Read and complete with has or have in the past participle.
1. I have taken photos of the desert. 2. She hasn't visited Alexandria. 3. He has never eaten fresh dates. 4. We have seen lots of tamarisk trees. 5. They have never swum in a river. 6. He has climbed a tree.
Exercise 2. Write questions and answers.
1. Has she ever been to an oasis? No, she hasn't. 2. Have they ever drunk spearmint tea? Yes, they have. 3. Has he ever slept in the desert? Yes, he has. 4. Have you ever made olive oil? No, I haven't.
The water cycle. The water cycle.
Rain. 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 Sea. 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 Cloud. Cloud. Cloud.
Steam. Steam.
Evaporation. 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 Condensation. 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 Precipitation. Precipitation. Precipitation.
Sky. 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 The sun. The sun. Runoff. 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 River. River. River.
Sea. 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 Exercise 1. Listen and read. Where does water travel from and to? The water cycle.
Where does water come from? Water travels from the land to the sea in a process called the water cycle. These are the stages.
Evaporation.
Let's start on the ground. Heat from the sun makes water in the sea, in lakes, and in rivers start to evaporate. The water turns into vapor. This vapor rises up into the atmosphere.
Condensation.
As the air rises, it starts to cool. This makes the water vapor condense into drops of water. These join together to make clouds.
Precipitation.
Wind moves the clouds in the sky. The clouds get bigger and heavier. Precipitation is when water falls from the clouds as rain, snow, or hail. When rain falls on high ground, it runs down mountains and hills as rivers. This is runoff. The rivers start small and narrow. They get deeper and wider as they gather more water. Rivers run to the sea, and the cycle starts again with evaporation. Some water soaks into the ground. This is groundwater. It flows into rivers and lakes under the ground. These can come back to the surface as a spring. A spring can become a river or a lake. The water evaporates and the cycle starts again.
Exercise 2. Complete the sentences with the bold words from the text.
1. Precipitation falls from clouds as rain. 2. Water that lands on the ground and travels in rivers is called runoff. 3. Some water soaks into the ground as groundwater. 4. The sun causes evaporation of water from the surface of rivers and the sea. 5. Condensation happens as water vapor rises and gets cooler. 6. The whole process is called the water cycle.
Exercise 1. Look, read and match.
1. Evaporation. E. Water into vapor. Vapor rises into the atmosphere. 2. Condensation. C. Water vapor rises and starts to cool. It becomes clouds. 3. Precipitation. A. Water falls from the clouds as rain, snow or hail. 4. Runoff. F. When rain falls on high ground, it runs down mountains as rivers. 5. Groundwater. B. Some water soaks into the ground and flows in rivers that are under the ground. 6. Cycle. D. How water in rivers becomes clouds, then rainfall, then runoff, then rivers that are under the ground.
Exercise 2. Read and complete.
Runoff starts as small, narrow rivers on mountains and high ground. The rivers get deeper and wider and then they run into the sea.
Groundwater flows in rivers and lakes under the ground. This water comes back to the surface as a spring. A spring can become a river or a lake. The water evaporates and the cycle starts again.
Exercise 2. Listen and read. Why does it rain? 1.
The sun makes water hot. Hot water turns to vapor.
2.
steam rises to make clouds.
3.
Wind makes the clouds move.
4.
The clouds get colder. Water falls from the sky as rain or snow. Fresh water, fresh water, fresh water. Salt water, salt water, salt water.
Rain. Rain. Rain.
Runoff, runoff, runoff. River, river, river.
Sea. Sea. Sea.
Rivers and lakes under the ground. Rivers and lakes under the ground. Spring, spring, spring. An oasis, an oasis, an oasis.
Precipitation. Precipitation. Precipitation.
Polar, polar, polar.
Listen and read. What are the different types of water?
There are 2 types of liquid water: fresh water and salt water. Rivers and lakes have fresh water in them. The water comes from precipitation and springs. Seas and oceans have salt water in them because rain washes minerals from the land and from rocks. These minerals go into the sea in runoff water. Rivers don't have salt water because the rain keeps fresh water moving through them.
Exercise 2. Look and read. What can the children see in the experiments?
We've done an experiment in our science class. We put salt water in one beaker and fresh water in another beaker. We heated the water in the beakers. Look what has happened.
Look at the first beaker, the water has evaporated and we can salt. Now look at the second beaker, the water has evaporated. The beaker is empty.
What can the children see in the experiments?
The children can see the water getting hot. They can see the water has evaporated. They can see salt in one beaker. They can see no salt in the other beaker.
Exercise 3. Read the water facts. Match and say.
1. The Dead Sea is a small sea, and it is surrounded by land. The water here has a lot of salt. You can float in the Dead Sea.
2. The water in an oasis is fresh. It comes from lakes and rivers that are under the ground.
3. Ice is frozen water. In polar regions, when ice is formed from salt water, the salt is squeezed out and only the water freezes. This means the ice isn't salty. You can melt the water and drink it.
Exercise 1. Listen, point, and say.
River, river. Water. Water. Polar. Polar. Cobra. Cobra. Cheetah. Cheetah. Shelter. Shelter. Acacia. Acacia. Under. Under. Doctor. Doctor.
Exercise 2. Read and say, underline the schwa ending.
Acacia. Acacia. Shelter. Shelter. Cheetah. Cheetah.
Exercise 3. Write and say,
The cheetah is taking shelter under an acacia tree. It's looking at the water under the cobra.
Exercise 1. Listen, complete, and match. Then say. 1,
River.
2,
Polar.
3,
Water.
4,
Cobra.
Exercise 2. Listen and circle the words with the sound. 1,
Sea. Acacia. Coffee.
2,
Cheetah. Try. By.
3,
Through. Statue. Under.
4,
Ride. Shelter. Night.
5,
Mommy. Happy. Doctor.
Camel. Camel. Camel.
hump,
Hump.
hump. Hooves,
Hooves.
hooves.
Nutrition. Nutrition. Nutrition.
Soil. Soil. Soil.
Root. Root. Root.
Desert. Desert. hot, 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 cold, 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 habitat, 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 habitat,
sweat, sweat, sweat,
A liquid that comes out of your skin when you are hot.
Cactus plant.
Cactus plant.
Cactus plant.
surface, surface, surface.
Exercise 1. Listen and read. What does adapt mean?
Plants and animals. Plants and animals adapt to their habitat. This means that they change the way they behave in order to survive their habitat. We know that plants need water to grow, and animals need to drink water to live. But some plants and animals live in the desert. How? Cactus plants have adapted to survive in the desert. Their roots are close to the surface and they spread out a long way in the ground. They can catch a lot of rainwater when it does fall. Inside a cactus, there are hollow tubes. These can hold water and store it for many years. A cactus plant has thick skin, so the water inside the tubes can't evaporate. They have spines to protect them. These stop animals drinking the water inside. The cactus. Camels have adapted to survive very well in the desert. They can drink enough water to last for a week. They don't often sweat, so they don't lose water. They can store fat and nutrients in their hump, so they don't have to eat for months. They have wide hooves, so it is easier to walk on sand. They have hair around their eyes, ears and nose to keep the sand out. The desert is hot in the day, but very cold at night. They have thick fur to keep them warm at night.
What does adapt mean?
Adapt means to change to cope with different conditions.
Exercise 2. Read again and write true or false.
1. The roots of the ground. False. 2. A cactus can hold water for years. True. 3. The spines of a cactus help animals find water. False. 4. Camels sweat a lot to stay cool. False. 5. A camel's hump can store fat and nutrients. True. 6. A camel has wide hooves to keep it warm at night. False.
Exercise 3. Listen to how these plants and animals have adapted to living in a wetland. Circle the correct word.
Lots of plants in a swamp are partly or completely underwater. But plants need oxygen to get food. So, how do they get it? Some plants have hollow stems, so oxygen can go down to their roots. Animals can use camouflage in a wetland to protect themselves and hunt for food. Crocodiles can lie in the water with just their eyes and nose above the water.
Exercise 1. Do the crossword incomplete.
Across. 1. Camels have thick fur to keep them warm at night. 4. Camels store fat and nutrients in their hump. 6. Camels have padded feet to help them walk on sand. 7. Cactus have spines to stop animals eating them.
Down. 2. The roots of a cactus are close to the surface of the ground. 3. There are hollow tubes inside a cactus where they store water. 5. Camels have hair around their eyes and nose to keep out the sand.
1. Why do swamps have hollow stems?
A. So that oxygen can go down to their roots.
2. Why do animals use camouflage?
B. To protect themselves and to hunt for food. Thanks for watching and goodbye.